Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Shout out to the 19. Let's go. It is the revenge tour. The revenge tour. Few people have asked me about doing pre-games, kind of what I'm looking for. I don't know if I'll get a chance to do them for all the games, but this seemed like a great one considering we just played the Atlanta Dream and lost. So it's revenge tour time. It's revenge tour time starting with the Atlanta Dream. So I just wanted to kind of go through what it is I'm looking for in tonight's game, what I'm hoping to see in terms of changes and that sort of thing that are going to help them win this game and get some revenge on the Atlanta Dream. So I'm not breaking down film, so I'm not talking about specific plays. I'm just talking about the game and the strategy and that sort of thing, what I'm looking for. So, I mean, number one, better, more consistent defense. Absolutely. I think we need quicker decision making on the rotations. And I get if it's dramatically different, like the team's learning something completely new. Although from Kelsey Mitchell, it sounds like they should know it by now. What happens when you don't have it nailed down to where you don't have to think, you're slow. And I think we saw a lot of that where the rotations were not right or people were going to the wrong place completely and it caused problems, right? Last game was very inconsistent. It wasn't terrible overall, though you don't want to give up 91 points, but it was very obvious how inconsistent it was when the quarters, the Dream points were 31, 13, 32, 15, right? Half the game, they only gave up 28 points. I mean, that's on pace to the incompetent Chicago Sky number. You know what? They got one of the things, and look, they're an undersized team, and I get it, but there are ways where you can use that to your advantage to at least negate the size advantage. But they definitely got torched inside by both Jones, 6 of 12, 7 of 10 from the free throw line, 19 points. Griner, 8 of 13, 5 of 6 from the line, 21 points. But they also gave up a lot of open threes, a lot of open looks. Thank goodness the Atlanta Dream. That's the other thing. A lot of people say, "Oh, we clean up some of the layups and this and that, and we make free throws and we win." Sure, but you also have to think that Atlanta Dream's not always going to shoot 8 for 30 from three. A lot of their misses were open looks. 26.7% from three, 8 of 30. That's not that's not going to happen all of the time. Okay. Uh, I know she didn't play a lot, but between the preseason games and her, and everything else, I don't want to see Sydney Colson anymore. I'm sorry. I know people are gonna be like, "Oh, it's early and this and that, and she brings defense and all that." I don't want to see more of her. Okay. I don't care if she seems to defend well from time to time. She has not looked good overall. I think she's a net negative, even if she has good defense. When Sophie comes back, there's no reason for Colson to get off the bench. She played what, 6 minutes the first game, I think. Well, 6 minutes and Sophie Cunningham didn't play at all. There's no reason for Sydney Colson to get off the bench. Possibly one reason we'll get to later, but I want to see less of Bree Turner. Again, hasn't she there have been plays here and here, but I haven't seen anything that says, you know what, this is a good idea to have Bree Turner. It's a long season, right? I get people like, oh, it's only two. I get it. I'm going by what I'm seeing now and what I don't want to see in the future. I'm not saying it won't or it can't get better. However, as a lot of people say, they're still learning and they're going to struggle now. Okay, great. If we're going to struggle now, we're going to use that excuse of learning to play together. And I do expect them to get better and better. Don't misunderstand. However, then let's throw Michaela Timpson into the deep end and see what she can do, right? If we're going to struggle and Bree Turner has not been playing well and her thing is defense, hello, what is Michaela Timpson? But also much better offensively. I mean, I, for one, thinks Michaela Timpson will swim. Look, she's not going to be an instant star and she's going to have her ups and downs for sure. But I think she'd be an upgrade on what Turner gives us. I don't see how you can say it's not worth the risk. Does anyone think that this game is worse if Michaela Timpson had gotten Bree Turner's 9 minutes? Think of it like that. I say, let's see what we have. Let's get her this experience now because what's coming off the bench is not been great. Michaela Timpson is not going to be worse. So let's see what she can do. Give her some vital experience. And hey, you know what? If she is working out, you cut. I think she's on a contract where if you cut Bree Turner, she's not due any more money and you have free that up from the cap. So, you know, let's do that. Get a little more money and see what we can sign that's out there. Maybe we get two players, right? Because we're already talking about prorating the cap for possibly bringing somebody back like Jalen Brown in a little bit or something like that. Now the offense, and I know people say this is weird with the numbers that they've put up, but I think there's some changes that absolutely need to be made. I want to see Caitlin Clark off the ball less, at least off the ball in the way they're doing it. I don't mind that she's bringing it up and making passes and running plays for Kelsey Mitchell or something like that, or maybe even Caitlin Clark gives up the ball and gets it back off a design play. But I'm tired of unless it's Sophie Cunningham and Caitlin's not in there. I don't want to see this other players bringing the ball up where we get a rebound and someone else gets the ball to bring it up. It's not looked good yet. This style of off the ball is not good for this team. It's awful for Caitlin Clark. If the excuse is to get a rest while she's still in the game, which I've heard, how about this idea? Give her the damn ball so the team plays better, and then give her actual rest. She played 38 minutes last game. And I think a part of that is because she was off the ball too damn much. So the team was struggling more than it should have. So it was a closer game. So we're running Caitlin Clark ragged. Because the offense was not good with Caitlin Clark off the ball. Not good in either game. And look, we don't have a legit backup. I get that. So you better be damn effective when Caitlin Clark is in there and stop holding her back. No more off the ball. I don't want Sydney Colson bringing the ball up. I don't when Caitlin Clark's in the game. I don't want Kelsey Mitchell bringing the ball up. I will give you, from what I've seen, Sophie Cunningham because she can still bring it up and be up tempo. But the slowing down and someone else bringing it up half court stuff, I don't want to see it. I think they need to run more, be more consistent with their run. Um, again, this goes hand in hand a little bit with the off the ball stuff because when she's off the ball, someone else is bringing it up, and there's no running game. Or if they're still playing up tempo, it's not nearly as good because, as we all know, Caitlin Clark's actual ability to make a pass and her basketball IQ unparalleled. So give Caitlin the damn ball immediately. Right? That's one of the things that clicked last year. Rebounds are gotten, and boom, they're immediately looking for Caitlin Clark and they're off to the races. Not only is it better for them, I think, and look, I think this team could average like 110, as crazy as that sounds. I don't think their offense has been great for enough of the game, and they're hitting the 90s. But not only is this better for them offensively, you're also tiring out the other team. Because look, running's running, and I know offensively you get tired from doing it too. But anyone who knows playing any sport where you're running a lot, it's a lot more tiring because it's mental as well when you're the one on defense, right? Absolutely. And you tire out certain types of players like slow bigs. You tire out Griner and you tire out Jones, and maybe they're less effective offensively in the post because they're exhausted, dragging their butts up and down the court to chase you down. Griner's slow. Griner's not going to run. More pressure defense, I would like to see. More full court pickup is what I mean. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the whole team, but maybe the guards just slow the other team down, make them work a little bit. This can completely change the game. I think it did in the first Atlanta game. I think it got them their mojo back a little bit. Like I said, it can tire out the other team, especially teams that use their bigs. It also makes it tougher for teams to run slow ball into their bigs because by the time they get to their set offense, there's a lot less time on the shot clock. Stop running the ISO post up plays for Natasha Howard. Once she gets the ball in that position, it's over. I haven't seen her look to pass out to a teammate yet. If Howard's going to be effective offensively, and I believe she can be, it's getting out ahead and running to receive the long passes from Caitlin Clark, getting out in the lanes when the Fever get a rebound and getting ahead and getting that ball in the open court because I do believe she's a good finisher in that situation. This is not a Howard on the block offense. Stop limiting Caitlin Clark. Can we please not do that? We look way too much like the Connecticut Sun and the Christie Sides offense. Caitlin Clark is your system. She's not part of a system that limits what she does well. I really cannot stress this enough. How that last offensive possession was so bad. I did an entire video on it. If you haven't seen it, please go check it out. And I get you're going to say, I'm not, it's overreacting. No, I'm just showing you what I've seen up to this point and what I think needs to be better going forward. It's not panic mode at all. I can tell you if there was a football equivalent to this play, the Eagles would be calling for the end of Nick Sirianni's coaching regime. Wait, in fact, we did. Early in the season, they went 2-2 when they had like half a yard to go, and anyone who's following the NFL knows all about the tush push in the Eagles. And yet they threw the ball and they threw out wide to Saquon Barkley, and he dropped it. And the talk of the town was, "We got to fire Nick Sirianni. This is no good." And hey, it worked out because Nick got a lot of pressure. Nick made some changes, and the Eagles won a Super Bowl. So sometimes they need a kick in the pants from the fans. Okay, it's okay. It's okay to be critical. It's okay to go get outraged at times. It's part of the fun of being a fan. Okay, better picks. We've talked about this before. Aaliyah Boston set one really, really good pick in that first Atlanta Dream game to free up Caitlin Clark for a three. So he's absolutely capable. But I think a lot of Aaliyah Boston's picks are subpar. And now, to be fair, it is also timing with the person coming off the pick. They've got to let it set up. They've got to set their defender correctly and then rub off the pick properly to drive their defender solidly into that pick. So it is both, to be clear, because the two-person game with Clark in Boston, it is fantastic. I absolutely admit it is absolutely fantastic. And especially if Aaliyah Boston starts getting consistent with that 15 to 17 footer, taking an occasional three, spread out the defense even more. They don't want to collapse and help on Caitlin Clark going to the basket if it's a give and go. Good stuff. I mean, look, now add better picks to that more consistently. We are talking Stockton Malone, maybe the most well-known best two-player pick and roll game in the sport. Dewana Bonner needs to get going. Held scoreless last game. That is not going to cut it. Look, I know she should not be expected to be a big time scorer anymore, but she does need to be enough of a threat to take pressure off the big three, the core four, as we can call them now, because I think we got to put Lexi in there. She's not the scorer, but she's needed in so many ways. And so I think the way to do this with Bonner, with her movement, because she runs well, she finishes well. If the team's running a little more and Duana Bonner is releasing, right? That shot goes up. We see we're getting the rebound. Duana Bonner releases, especially early, run. Look to get Duana Bonner on the end of a Caitlin Clark pass, get a couple of easy buckets. That gets Duana Bonner's confidence going. That gets her going into the game. And now I think she's a completely different player. So I think that's important. Bonner's buckets need to be the easy kind, especially early. Get her out in front, fill the lanes. Caitlin will get her the ball. Of course, if you keep having someone else bring it up and play this slow off the ball stuff, then that completely negates that. I really want to see Aaliyah Boston build on last game. I don't really have anything negative to say about her for that. I think she was phenomenal against the Dream. I'm not even going to criticize her defense because she got left on an island one-on-one sometimes with Griner. But you know what? All you can do in those situations with that huge of an advantage that Griner has with the height is make her make tough shots. And I think that's what happened. I don't think Griner got easy buckets. And we're just about finished. These great signings need to pick it up. I don't want to hear about it needs to take 10 or 15 games. No, they had a whole training camp. They had preseason games. These are seasoned professionals. Playing with Caitlin Clark shouldn't set you back that much with your game. It really, really shouldn't. Look, the big three had 75 of their 90 points last game, and then six more from Lexi Hull, right? 81 of the 90 from the core four returning to getting playing time. And the big three played 37, 33, and 38 minutes. And then Lexi Hull played 29 coming off the bench. We're getting nothing from these new players. We keep talking about how deep they are and these great signings, and we'll be able to get Caitlin rest and Kelsey rest and Aaliyah rest, and they're playing more minutes than they did last year. That is absolutely wild. I know, 2 games in. Well, that's okay. I'm giving you what I want to see this game. I'm giving you what the changes I think need to be made in order to be the team we all think they are. I'm going to leave it there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Enjoy the game. Oh, by the way, it's a little later tonight and I've got some family stuff. So hopefully you all still watch, but I'm probably doing my post game tomorrow morning instead of tonight after the game. Sorry about that. But anyway, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, that notification bell that they have. I hear that works good too. And go have the day you deserve. Enjoy the game, and I will talk to you later.